Hi, this is an American citizen, the maker of the Craft Bible. In today's video, let's look into the latest teaser from the craft team called Project Powerful. First, a disclaimer. I don't have any insider information regarding an upcoming release of Craft, and also I'm not paid to do those videos. So I wanted to make sure that you know that. Yesterday, the craft team shared on multiple platforms, including Reddit and Slack, a new teaser regarding an upcoming release of Craft, and I think it's rather interesting. So let's look at a teaser first. Let's take a closer look at this 14-second video clip. So what we're seeing here in this video is the craft is running on a MacBook, and this is the usual display of the tabs at the top, and there's this tasks tab which is displayed, and also there's nothing much different that we can see from the top of the window. The content of the document itself, that's rather interesting because there is the tasks label here and there's an icon on the left, which could indicate that maybe document icons are coming, just they are already available on the Notion where we can set an icon for each document. So this could be an indication that this is coming also to Craft. I'm not holding my breath though, but it could be an indication. Also, there's this field here at the top of the document content with a new button. So I'm expecting that if we are clicking on the new here, we will have a new task inserted into this document, because this is exactly what this document shows. It's a list of tasks. So you might think that Craft is about to launch a full-fledged task management, and I'm not sure it is the case, but I'll share why I think it's not the case. So what we're seeing right now is a list of tasks that are grouped with task priority. So there's high, medium, and low. And you can see here there's a field, which is exactly that, where you can set the task priority. And also we can see that there's a probably the name of the project where the task is created, the state of the task, which is not started, in progress, or done, and also there's probably a due date. So let's fast forward this video to see what's going on here. So the user is clicking on the date to set the due date. It seems to be the name of the field, and it will simply select a different date and click apply. It will also use the task state to change it from not started to in progress. So the first teaser video has been shared, so this is actually in progress. And also it will change the second task, which is the invitation for the beta of this new release. So if we can move forward, it will change the date to August Monday 5. So this is the date where we should expect, I guess, the launch of the beta version of this new craft release. And according to the information that has been shared on Slack, I think it will be called 3.0. So this is seen by the craft team as a major release. So it is required to change the version number to 3. So this is another indication. Click apply, and then it's done. So it seems to be rather simple, but there's much more to see into this video. I know a lot of people would be rather happy to see Craft add a task management into Craft. As you can see here in Craft, this document, there's a list of tasks that I have created, and then when I'm done, I can click on those, and then they will be marked as done. But there is nothing else much to it. So it's rather simple. If you insert tasks into a daily note, you have the possibility to move the unfinished task to the next day if you want. So this is something more useful for those who are using daily notes and tasks management. So does this video points to a full-fledged task management in Craft? I think it does not. And the reason for that, I think that the best opportunity for Craft would be to add a database feature into Craft where people, if they think, if they want, they can create a task management within a database, pretty much what we can do in Notion. So this is interesting because I think the what I think it's the best path for the Craft team to go from here is to introduce databases. I'm not thinking about full-fledged database management like we see in Notion, where we can create filters, where we can create relationship between two tables or two databases. I think it's more like something that is closer to what we currently have in a craft where we can use tables to kind of simulate a database. Like in this example, if I go there and I look at a list of all my subscription that I'm currently using to do my online content creation, this is a rather simple table, but someone could say, well, it's a database, and it's right. It's kind of a database also. If I look at the other uh, table document that I'm using here is that a table all the time I'm using any AI related tool. So again, this is a kind of a database where I have a date, a use case, the type of app that I use for the AI, and then a description of what I did. So again, it looks like a database, but it's not. So when you look back here at this screenshot, my hope is that the craft team will release databases, and in this specific teaser video, they chose to use task for illustration purposes. If databases are coming to craft, it's hard to tell, but let's say they are coming to craft. How would someone create a database? Well, if you look at Notion, a page can contain different type of object in Notion, like text and lists and databases also. And when you create a database in Notion, you are presented with a possibility to change the properties in Notion, and as many you can add as many properties as you want, and you set the type of those properties on a individual basis. So this database in this Notion document is sitting just like a block within the page itself. How would this translate actually in Craft? It's hard to tell, but I think the most flexible way to do that would be something close to what Notion are doing, because it would allow a user to have some text right there just beneath the document title, and also someone could decide to put images or text at the end after the database itself. So as the database would grow, then Craft would be responsible to move the content after the database accordingly. This is what we are experiencing in Notion. So it's maybe harder to implement, but I think it's the most flexible way to create that. So it's hard to tell from this screen how this would translate in Craft. When we create a something in Craft, like let's say I go in this document where I have something that looks like a database. From there, I can have the insert menu and can drop any type of object that I want on this document. So will the craft team add a new type of object which would sit just after the table? And as soon as I drop the database object within the document, then I would be presented with some kind of formatting option, something that looks like when someone insert a card. When you insert a card, you are presented with a configure card pop-up. So we would get something like configure database, where we could create all the fields or the properties, set the type of those fields, and then click OK, and then I would get a one-line database inserted into this document. So this could be the way that the craft team will decide to implement databases, and I hope this is what they are going to do. If databases are actually coming to craft, do I have a few use cases where I could use them? And of course, I do have some use cases. One example would be to create databases instead of creating table. And one example of that is the my generative AI use cases analysis, where I could create a database to put all this information within a database. And the reason that would be useful is that to be able to organize the data itself, like sorting and grouping data according to different fields. I don't expect databases to be as detailed or powerful as we have in Notion, for example. But if we can set the sort order, if we can do some filtering, if we can do some grouping of information and searching also, I think it would be more than enough for me. So that's one of example here where I could transform that into a database. Will there be a way to click on that here and have an option to convert to a database? That would be really cool because I don't really want to have to re-enter all that information manually. Will I be able to export that in a CSV file and then re-import that into a database? Again, export, import. Will this be part of the initial release of database in Craft? I don't think so. I'm not holding my breath, but this is the kind of basic features that we are expecting from a software that is actually supporting some kind of database inside of it. So one example of that. The other one is the current my subscription document, which is public, by the way. And I have a name for the subscription, how often I have to renew that, my general sentiment toward this subscription, if I have to keep it or if I think I'll drop it, the price I'm paying for that on a monthly basis, and a comment. Again, using a database would be interesting because I could do all sort of data analysis on that, like grouping by a monthly renewal or a yearly renewal, or do some kind of filtering also would be really, really nice. So I do have a lot of use cases for that. I don't expect, again, the Notion, the craft team to replicate the what we can find in Notion, but a very solid initial release of databases in Craft would be rather useful for me, and I expect for a lot of people. That's it for my analysis of the Project Powerful teaser shared by the Craft team yesterday. So I'm curious to learn about your take or your comments about this teaser. So feel free to comment in this in the comment section down below. If you don't subscribe to my YouTube channel, it's the time to do so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Thank for watching, and thank for being there, and see you guys for another one soon. Bye.